I have the honor of presenting the overall Champion of Children Award to Brad from Canova. That is how he told me to introduce him. We had the opportunity to do a Zoom call, and I got to know him, and the irony, the whole karate thing was just, he was also was interested in martial arts, and known to few, I have my black belt. But so Brad Smith is the former CEO and chairman of Intuit and co-founder of the Wing to Wing Foundation, an organization whose goal is to advance the great equalizers of education and entrepreneurship in regions where individuals and communities have been overlooked and underserved. He was the first to do a West Virginia Ed Talk, where he gave West Virginia high school students a person-to-person talk about how to make something of yourself by being purpose-driven. As a child, he struggled with being bullied and took up karate, and eventually teaching karate to youth and to adults. Recently, Brad and his wife, Alys, personally donated $25 million to Marshall University because they believe so passionately in education and economic opportunity. Brad also led Intuit to establish a prosperity hub in downtown Bluefield, creating up to 500 jobs that's planned. And I have to stop for a minute to say this, and I think you kind of heard, there's been another big announcement, and that Brad and his wife have also recently, as of yesterday, donated $25 million to WVU, which, if you are in West Virginia, you know you got to treat both universities equally, right? So that is like an overwhelmingly generous donation and such a testament to where this family is and what they are prioritizing. He truly is a West Virginia success story. He's a son of Marshall University, so he had to do the WVU thing, I'm sure, just pressure. And champion for all things good in West Virginia. He has 2 daughters that he adores, and he does have a home in West Virginia. There is no doubt that Brad Smith leads by example. He's an extraordinary spokesperson for West Virginia. And I'm going to end this with a quote by Brad himself. "Anything I have ever achieved in this life is because someone in West Virginia invested in me."
So I grew up in the town of Canova, West Virginia, in Wayne County, population 3,000 if you round up. I had an idyllic childhood, I had wonderful parents, I had 2 brothers, friends that have lasted a lifetime. And I met my wife on a blind date in Ohio in 1991. We've been married 27 years. We had 2 beautiful daughters, although I will admit I'm biased as a father. I have a daughter who is an attorney in Nashville, Tennessee. Her name is Peyton. And my second daughter, Devin, is a wellness coach in the San Francisco Bay Area. And that takes me to my career. When I graduated from Marshall, I have lived in 10 states and I've covered every corner of the globe from a business perspective. And my career started in consumer packaged goods and advertising. And then I moved into technology in 1996 in the middle of that dot-com craze just before the dot-com crash. And it culminated with an 11-year run as CEO of Intuit, the maker of TurboTax, QuickBooks, and Mint. I stepped down in 2019 after 11 years as the CEO, and I now serve as the chairman of the board. I also serve on 2 other boards, Nordstrom and SurveyMonkey. I have the pleasure to coach other CEOs, and as you mentioned, my wife and I have a foundation, the Wing to Wing Foundation, which is focused on advancing education, entrepreneurship, and the environment in the state of West Virginia. But if you want to sum that up into just a bullet point, I'm just a boy from a small hometown who spent 22 years looking for a way out and every day since looking for a way home. I have often said that if West Virginia is almost heaven, then I think God put his kindest angels right here. And if my car was ever going to break down, I'd want it to break down in West Virginia because people would be kind enough to stop and crafty enough to fix it. And I think that goes back to how we're raised, both from our families and our communities. And there's 3 values that I think kids are instilled inside of them, inside of West Virginia. It's integrity, humility, and teamwork. Our word is our bond. We're humble enough to admit what we don't know, and we know that we go further and we're stronger if we do it together. We live in a place that everyone else now dreams about, and especially coming out of COVID, they want to move to. So why is it great to be a kid in West Virginia? You're surrounded by incredible people who invest in you. You're born with a pioneering spirit, which means you could create the next great company or be the next great leader. And you're surrounded by the most beautiful place in the world. And I think that is a real gift.
All right, so Brad couldn't be with us today. He actually is just recovering from shoulder surgery. So he extends his appreciation for the children, the Champion Children Award recognition, and in his own words.
I wished I could be there with you physically today and among so many great thought leaders who are being honored for the amazing work they're doing. So I hope you will accept this video acceptance as a sincere expression of my gratitude for being included in this year's nominees for this award. For me, I always fall back on the quote from Franklin Delano Roosevelt, that we cannot always prepare the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. And I fundamentally believe the work that this institution is doing and these individuals who are receiving this award today are doing exactly that, and it is an honor to be included with this group.